actually, I've had a most marvellous holiday. I told you, didn't I? You look as though you're embalmed. Well, actually, this year, I thought I'd do something different, because usually I go to the seaside, you know, with Slack and Everard and all that lot, but I had such a terrible time last year. I went to Margate, and of course, Slack, she loves the fairground and all that, and I can't be doing with it. I mean, she lives on those chaeroplanes. She's mad about the Big Dipper, and she's not alone, but I thought, well, I thought this year, and of course, the year before that, I went with Everard. We went abroad. That frightened me to death. And he went out one day. I think we were in a place called, I've got the worms. We were in a place called Hammamet. It's in Tunis, you know. And he went out into the water, and I sat there, because he loves the water. You know, it's good for his war wound. And, he went out there, and I was terrified, because he got into trouble with an octopus. I thought, Everard's gone, and I shouted out, cut off its tentacles. Well, the lifeguard was deaf. And do you know... I love the old movies. You see, I can't bear all this getting into bed with everybody. And...
But you don't have to get into bed with everybody.
No, but it frightens my dog. I mean, when I... You see... But I don't like things like that.
Well,
Perhaps it's because I'm getting older.
Oh, nonsense.
I mean, the doctor... No. He said, when you're 39, you'll find that you'll change.
He'd obviously had his share of life's trials and tribulations, and it showed on his face. And this is very good for a comedian because it helps the audience to warm to you. He had great simpatico. He was a very brilliant man.
OK, he may not have been reading War and Peace or things like that, or that kind of mind into things, but of course he was very, very astute when it came to working with people and working their personalities and so on.
He said you would love to have a go at being the front or the back of a pantomime horse, yes, just for experience. But it's a strange ordeal. No, that's true, because I played the back and the front of a No, don't laugh. Don't laugh, because when I was in the front of the pantomime horse, I never said one word to the fellow at the back. And he never said a word to me. And when I was at the front, him at the back never said a word to me, and I never said a word to him. And yet, it's strange, but I had a feeling that I knew him very well.
Do him, even if you do a bad impression, as I do him. I mean, you know who you're talking about.
How are you? I'm not well. Now let's don't start. I woke up this morning. These are as common as dirt. I woke up this morning, and I felt as limp as a vicar's handshake. You see, he's anybody's for a donut. You see, I got it all down this side. I'd left my vest off, and it was all down this side, and I lay there for a while. You know, I lay in bed. I just lay, and I thought, I'll be all right in a minute. You suffer with it, don't you? I can tell the way you're sitting.
It was at the Stork Club. He was a late replacement. Some comic had fallen ill or something. It was a drag show, and he came out in a suit and did sort of 5 minutes of patter in this nightclub, and he was absolutely sensational. And I signed him up the next day, and we went from there.
Seems like a nice boy.
Instantly funny man, and from there he never looked back. I got him onto a television series. I think it was with Mike and Bernie Winters. I got him for ATV, and the booker at ATV said he'd give him one, and I said I don't want one. I said he's got to be in every show. And we held out, and I held my breath and held my breath. And in the end, he said, "Okay, we'll put him in every week." And they put him in for 6 or 8 weeks, and he took off from there.
I've walked miles to get here, and my legs are killing me. They are. I'm riddled with arthritis. But I tell you this, shut that door. Draft here's wicked. No, the thing is, you see, now I'm here, I've got the worms. No, the thing is... Shut your gob. No, the thing is, now I'm here. I think, oh, no, what I'll do, I mean, I'm not going to waste my time. I think I'll go to Sir Douglas Squires and get a job with this lot here. I could do it, I'll tell you that. Let's have a change of scenery. No, I mean, I could... I'm sweating like a dray horse. No, I mean... I could do all this chorus work very well. I've done it all before. Yes, I have been going around for years in musical comedies. I have really. I've done The Quaker Girl. I've done Rosemarie. I've done The Maid of the Mountains. I've been very busy. I did The Vagabond Queen, and I refused The Chocolate Soldier. Mind you.
It was the thing I think Larry wanted more than anything, was the public to adore him. And when he least expected it, it happened. I mean, again, he sat through here when we had a dinner party and he explained everything, from the very details of how it all began and what happened and how he was discovered so late on. When he thought, no, not at all, it can't possibly be happening to me, when he got the Shut That Door and such like for ATV and so on.
This is the part of the programme which is entitled Get It Off Your Chest. And this first letter I have, it said, Dear Larry, my husband is an explorer, and he came home this morning after 25 years in Borneo. He was looking for the Ha-Ha tribe. He didn't find them. He has changed slightly. He now has a long white beard and a bone through his nose. Our dog won't go near him. And all he wears is his handkerchief, one at the back and one at the front. I just dare not send him shopping. He hasn't been home for 5 minutes. He hasn't been home 5 minutes and he wants to play games with me. He has got a blowpipe and some darts, and he wants me to stand on our shed with an apple on my head. He's just like little boys sometimes. Yours sincerely, Gladys Sprocket.
I don't think he particularly believed that he was going to be a big star or anything. And nobody was more surprised than him when he became that. He enjoyed it. But I don't think anyone was more surprised than him. And I found him entirely professional, easy to deal with, and he was a pleasure as a client.
Because I think his fame came so late in life, he was bemused by it all, and he just enjoyed it.
But there must have been times during the hard graft when you thought, why am I doing this?
No,
I'm not getting anywhere.
No, I didn't, honestly. No, I didn't. I never envied the stars at the top, because if the stars went up there, I wouldn't have been working. I was only that big on the bill. But I never bothered about it, really. I used to think I'd be a star one day, but as I got older, I thought, well, it's too late for me now. I won't be now. I'm writing a book at the moment, my life story. I'm doing it right now.
Are you going to cut out all the unsavoury bits?
No, you're in it.
He was quite brilliant at being able to describe characters, these hilarious characters, because he was able to paint word pictures and act them out with some of his more bizarre movements. And he was able to create these people before your very eyes.
Well, I was expecting Slack Alice to come round, because you see, she's not well. She's far from well. Oh. You see, I don't think she'll see Easter. And she's got this Faruka, and I think she plays it. And anyway, I don't see so very much of her now, you understand? You see, because she's got this lodger who used to play with Albert Sandler, and he's with Max Jaffa now, and he's bought her this big dog, it does smell, and she came round the other morning. I had to tell her, because, I mean, it pulls her everywhere. I told you, didn't I, Bernard, about it? And the things I could say about him. Anyway, she came in, and this dog, it pulls her everywhere. It gets pulling her, you know, have I told you? It gets pulling her, you say, and I said, slack. I said, slack, you don't want pulling at your time of life with these dogs. It's one of these, like they have on, you know, like, what are they called? English sheepdog. You know, it keeps pulling, because it keeps jumping up at her and knocking her on the floor, you see. She thinks it's playing.
But what about the characters? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, the characters?
Yeah, I mean, how much of they came? I mean, are they all real? Are they all observed?
Oh, I know they are. I know they are.
You do?
Yes, I mean, Everard's a mess. I mean, Everard... you know his name's Everard Farquharson. And Everard, I mean, he's a drip, but he's very faithful. I mean, when he used to travel with me on tour, and he always stood at the side with my cocoa. He was always very good. Of course, he's got a friend called Michael Bonaventure now. I don't see a lot of him.
Michael Bonaventure?
Yes, they do a lot of potholing. And there was...
Apricot Lil.
Apricot Lil, yes.
Yes.
Well, of course, Lil, she worked at the jam factory.
Yes.
She's had a lot of trouble, you know. She suffers with her legs. During the day, she has her legs in tin foil, she said. And...
Pop it in, Pete.
That's the postman. The things that have come through my letterbox over Christmas, I can't tell you. And then there's the baker. The baker, self-raising Fred.
Another remarkable thing about Larry Grayson was he crossed the bridge from live theatre, variety performer, to a big star name in television. And television is very different than the theatre, very different. There's a lot of disciplines.
Shut that door.
Absolutely, the pinnacle of his whole career was the Generation Game. And he sat here in this room on that chair and we talked about it, and he said he didn't like to watch them. He didn't watch them anymore because it upset him in a way when he's, you know, because he did love it so much at the time. And I guess the nostalgia of looking back at it was just too much for him, you know, but it was 100% the absolute pinnacle of his career, yeah.
Sir, you mean we're going to do this? We're going to do it together?
Yep, that's
okay.
it.
Well, okay.
I can't wait to see this.
Did you ever see Lou Ayres in All Quiet on the Western Front? Okay, we'll do it.
Okay.
Barrymore! Just a minute. Just a moment.
Barrymore!
Just a moment. There is no need to shout. Speak. Tell him what I'm like.
You can't take being shouted at.
No, you mustn't shout. She'll tell
Very
you.
gentle
I'm a very
person.
little man. Right. Shut your mouth. I'm a very little... I will do anything you ask if you ask me properly, but if you start shouting and bawling, I will not do a thing. She tell him.
That's right. You won't do it. I know.
Please,
Right.
Airman Grayson, buy the ripple, please.
Yeah, all right. Don't forget to write. You go back there now, Flash. Buy the rip.
Buy the ripple! Airman Grayson, join us, please. Put your hands on your side, please. Oh. Buy the ripple!
Well, you said it. You said put your hand on your side, and I did it, didn't I?
Forward! Huh. Left. Huh.
It was that sheer magic. People thought it just happened, which sometimes it did, by the way, just happened. There's no plotting or planning.
Now, wait a minute. I can't find the 5.
Because, well, what is it? It's just like the spontaneity of it. Because he wasn't plotted into that. Nobody planned it. He just did it. That was what, now, you see, a lot of artists couldn't do that.
What can I get for you, sir?
I'll have a...
Oh, God. You see, I will interfere. I wish I were dead. No, wait a minute. Wait. Thank you. Nice boy. Okay, well then, you have a do it yours.
Let's see if I can do it.
You know, she hasn't been well all day. Hang on, don't go away.
For a season when Larry took over the Generation game, I was the warm-up man on his show. You never felt that he was thinking, oh, who's this new upstart?
Here's anybody's for a tin of beans over there.
I mean, I was bottom of the bill, the warm-up man. But he'd always used to say, he used to sit at his desk sometime and turn around and say, Michael, he said, I'm putting you in the show, I'm writing you in right now. You're going to be a big star. He never did anything about it, but he actually used to, he never actually say, I won't be a big star.
Larry was a very, very kind man, very, very generous to other people. When we all the contestants, I'm sure there wouldn't be one of them never feel they'd gone away without having had his time and his warmth, you know, and genuinely, because he genuinely liked them. He loved people.
You know, so nice and cuddly. Isn't she lovely and cuddly? I like cuddly women, you know, I do. But that's enough of that. I thought you were going to say something to me.
No, it's okay, no, carry on.
Oh, yeah. And say, and something happened once when you were fishing. What was it, Paul? You got the rod. You're doing something, were you?
No, that's not me.
It's not you?
No.
Yeah, you're right, it isn't. And you're married to Edwin. Oh, no, you're married... We all make mistakes. You've done a variety of jobs, and once you worked as a postman delivering wartime mail, and you got chased by a tram.
A ram.
A ram. Yeah. Now let's turn to you, to you, Larry.
No, John.
John. I've got the wrong card. lastly, you are Janet Hinchcliffe. What?
Hinchcliffe.
Oh, wait, oh, Hinchliffe.
Hinchliffe.
Oh, I see. It's the C before the L. Hinchliffe.
No, Hinchcliffe, there's no second C.
Is what?
There's no second C. It's Hinchcliffe.
Is that wrong?
That's wrong.
Could I speak to the girl that typed this out? I can't do you get the same thing, you know? I like a good straightforward name. I do like Jones or Thompson. Don't you? Or Farquhar. And that'll be cut as well.
For him, I think more than any relationship was the one that he had with the public through the Generation Game that made him number one. Well, it literally made him number one. I think he still found it quite hard to believe. And he was still greatly moved by it and very grateful. Very, very grateful.
You see, when I used to make it laugh, I kept saying, what's he doing, him? Who is he? I know his mother ever so well, I think. I used to go, and the audience loved it all, yeah, and it was all, you know, fun. Oh, it was such fun. And for the happiest of my life with that programme.
Barry decided that whilst it was absolutely at the top, the show was at the top, now was the time to leave it rather than see it. I don't think he could have taken it falling off in popularity or anything like that. He was just so incredibly pleased and elated that things had gone so well. I think and he was very superstitious, you know. And I think maybe that all played a wee part. I thought, well, while it's going well, you know the one, don't tread on the cracks, don't push it too far, all that sort of thing.
I think she's going funny.
The series we did on television, I think we did a couple of series of A Question of Entertainment, was about show business people. And of course he loved show business and particularly musicals, all the great musical stars and Hollywood stars, and he'd met a lot of them.
Oh, my goodness, man, I lived in the movies.
When other boys were going to see Roy Rogers and Johnny
That's right.
Weissman Tarzan, what were you going to see?
Joan Crawford in Chain.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, you don't go back.
And forsaking all others, I used to go to... You see, when I toured in what you call vaudeville...
Yeah, I played at vaudeville.
Yeah, well, I went around in variety for many years, and twice nightly, 6:50 and 8:30, and in the daytime we had nothing to do. Stop laughing, Terry.
I'm sorry.
I'm serious. Your hair wants washing. And
When he would do his raconteuring and all his various stories and so on, they were always extolling the virtues of other people. You know, whether it was Ivan Novello or whether it was Judy Garland or whoever it was always about them. You know, they were like the unreachable, you know what I mean? And he was just this little boy in the cinema, sitting watching them.
He loved to hold court after a show. He was the greatest raconteur I've ever heard of theatrical stories.
As a matter of fact, when I was very young, I used to get home from school at night and have concerts in a wash house. I lived in a row house, a terraced row of houses, and you have these wash houses. You've got away, you see, and you are common. And I used to have the children go and see these concerts, like an evening with. You see, like Ruth Draper, and...
In the wash house?
Yes. Where else? I did everything, you know.
You have a supporting cast.
I shall tell you later.
I don't think he did regard himself as a megastar, but I think he knew he was successful. I think he knew his job.
I mean, his timing was very good and he used it very well. So as far as his peers and other comedians, I think, would appreciate that Larry really was thinking while he was doing it. You know, although it all seemed to be a bit haphazard sometimes and so spontaneous, but he really was carefully using all the experience he had to gain the maximum from the situation. So that's clever, intuitive combination of all these things, but a touch of magic, you know, something you can't really pin down.
Everard, I said, I'm never going to go on a holiday with you again because, I can't stand the strain. So I don't know, what should I do this year? I thought I'd do something different. And I looked through the brochures, and I thought, I'll go alone. I'll go it alone, because I'm better off on my own, you know. And is your mother all right? You've still got the ferrets, haven't you? I can smell them from here. Well, anyway, I thought,
I think he was getting tired of finding it a bit of a strain. But he always seemed up and exactly the same Larry that you always knew when you met him, when he did do the odd appearance. And he did agree on the very rare appearances that he did do to come on and do Barrymore. He didn't make it.
He's great. I loved him. I enjoyed being with him. I'm really glad we became close friends too. Yeah. And a man who made me always laugh at everything. And a man who was always kind, who would always phone me up if I did anything. He always phoned me up right away and say, Isles, that was great, and I didn't realise you did all this, and even right up to the last minute, you know. It was great.
A very happy chap. A chap who loved being surrounded by friends, and he loved everybody, and he wanted them to love him in return. And yes, they did. Everybody did. They all loved Larry.
Just seeing him holding court, very generous at laughing at other people's stories too. He loved other people's stories. He was hungry for new stories, and he just had the most wonderful laughter, and it was as if every day was a lucky day for him. You know, he was one of the people for whom the cup was always half full.
So now all those people at home sitting in who I get letters from all the time saying, where is he, what's he doing, and all the rest of it. Well, all those lovely people at home, well, I'm all right, you see, and I can walk without a frame, still got my hair, and the face hasn't been lifted. So, well, there I am. It's lovely being with you. And before I go, for all you people at home, I must just say it once. Shut that door.